was a display of gigantic proportions. And superhuman strength.
Odom playing like a man possessed tonight.
With wingspans lengthier than a pair of California condors, Lamar Odom and Pau Gasol look like predators. Measuring up against these physical specimens will be a daunting task.
They're a lot bigger than we are. They have a lot of points in the paint. They're probably going to continue to be taller than us as the series goes on.
While Kobe Bryant's colossal 40-point performance left the Suns begging for mercy.
He is on fire.
Don't get discouraged now. We just got to keep playing and play hard.
But for the Suns' perennial fighter, the battle has just begun.
It's not like we're going to hang our heads. We just got to play better. I expect better things from our team in Game 2.
For Phoenix, it will take the re-emergence of their energized defense and a Herculean effort to tame the thundering champs. It's a tall objective. Suns, Lakers, next.
On a bright and sunny 64-degree day in downtown Los Angeles, TNT's playoff coverage continues from Staples Center. Late arriving crowd. The early start here in Southern California, just past 6 p.m. West Coast time, and we're moments away from Game 2 of the Western Conference Final. Phoenix Suns going against the defending NBA champion Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers taking Game 1 here on Monday night in a blowout. They led by as many as 28 points. Hi, everybody. Marv Albert along with Doug Collins. We join momentarily by Craig Sager. Let's check out the Taco Bell starting lineups for the Suns. First off, they need more from Amari Stoudemire, as we touched on earlier. Strong Game 1 for Robin Lopez, returning from a back injury. And because of the one side of the fair, Steve Nash played only 28 minutes. As for the Lakers, Game 1, another solid performance by Pau Gasol and a brilliant 40 points in 35 minutes for Kobe Bryant, who did not appear to be affected by that injured right knee. And once Lamar Odom checks in, it should be intriguing to see what goes on between Amari Stoudemire and Lamar Odom.
Well, Marv, he's going to have to play with force. The other night he was drifting on the perimeter, and he knew he was going to have to take some of those jump shots, but I thought he got caught out there, never got really involved in the game. And Alvin Gentry said his big guys have to do a better job running the floor tonight. They did not get out and run the lanes and force those big men from the Lakers to get out and run. So let's see tonight. How about the Phoenix Suns the other night, Marv? They had 4 fast break points. They were all from the free throw line. They did not take one shot attempt that would be considered a fast break attempt. That's how the tempo was so in favor of the Lakers the other night.
And Alvin Gentry believes, in contrast to the days of Mike D'Antoni, well, he would say 7 seconds or less, we want a shot. It's 12 seconds or less. And when the Suns were having difficulty finding a shot, there were problems with the offense. This is after the 12-second mark.
Well, in the last 12 seconds of the shot clock the other night, they shot 35% and only scored 20 points. That's what you were talking about, Marv. Early in the clock, when the first 12 seconds, they had 87 points and shot 55%. That's how important early offense is to the Suns.
Joe Crawford, Mike Callahan, Ed Malloy are the officials. Lakers in possession here at the start. Bryant being played by Hill, and Bryant gets right to it.
Well, Kobe had 40 the other night. Alvin Gentry said of his 13 field goals, he thought 10 of them were tough shots that he had to make.
Hill on the other end being guarded by Bryant. Hill over Bryant. The tip missed by Lopez, and they'll jump it up.
Phil Jackson thought that Grant Hill was going to be more active tonight, force Kobe to play a little more defense that he had to play the other night. Grant actually was playing well, and then he got in foul trouble. When he did in that third quarter, that's when Kobe really started to go off.
Andrew Bynum, who is back from that injured knee, struggled the other night. Here's Fisher on the break, and he's fouled by Nash, who disagrees with the call. So Derek Fisher will go to the line.
Little play off a jump ball here. Fisher just leaks out. Steve Nash thought he got all ball on that play, but Fisher will go to the line. And Marv, it's interesting tonight. I thought the Suns got off to a great start the other night, 7-0. They had a nice little start, and then they lose that game big. They get down by 28. I think tonight is important for that swagger. They were feeling very good about themselves coming into Game 1. They need to bounce back here and play well.
For the Lakers, it was a flashback to the Showtime Lakers as they made it 7 straight winning playoff games. They've won their last 9 home playoff games. Phoenix had won a franchise record 6 in a row in the postseason. Stoudemire getting inside, and that's what Alvin Gentry wants to see.
Yeah, and Steve Nash working that baseline. He plays so well behind the basket there. He loves to play that inside-out game.
Artest, most unusual shot. He's able to curl his way in. Gave it a little reverse English. Ron Artest in the first half the other night, showing a lot of poise, good shot selection, although there's a travel on Stoudemire. Although in the second half, where things are getting out of hand, he's firing from all angles.
Yeah, he threw up a couple Scud missiles in that fourth period. He had done a good job that whole game. I thought early in the series, the 2 previous series, he was shooting a lot of three-point shots. Phil Jackson said, dial it back a little bit. He did. I thought he played very well the other night.
Pau Gasol is played by Steve Nash. Suns want to see more shots from Nash. Attempted only 10 the other night. Here is Stoudemire. Artest met by Richardson. Artest for 3. Yes.
Off to another good start. The other night it was Lamar Odom. Tonight is Ron Artest. Seems like the Lakers are finding a different guy every night in the playoffs.
Nice pass inside for Stoudemire.
That's what Steve Nash does best. Probe the defense, trying to get Bynum involved in as many pick and rolls as possible. He just does not have that great lateral movement with the knee.
Again, Artest is open. Richardson daring him to take the shot. Bynum. And he is fouled. Stoudemire on the overplay. He gambled, and Bynum able to take advantage.
Ron Artest spotting up. You're going to see him slide down, and Jason Richardson just runs off of Artest to help on Kobe Bryant, the extra pass, and that's that short corner 3 that he knocked down for the three-point shot.
Foul picked up by Lopez, who was trying to help out. Andrew Bynum, who has looked tentative with those knee problems, played just 19 minutes the other night. 2 of 4 rebounds. Remember game 3 in Utah? Bynum plays 20 minutes, took only 1 shot, a missed dunk attempt, and then he said after the game, I don't remember playing.
Phil didn't remember it either.
Stoudemire.
A positive response by Stoudemire. He's come out here, got off to a very good start. But Bynum also, Phil told us before the game, he said they got to do a better job getting him warmed up to start the third quarter. All the rest in there at halftime, he cools off. And usually gets off to a good start like he is tonight. With a nice little give and go. Gasol is a terrific passer for a big man.
Gasol had 5 assists in game 1 on Monday night. Nash probing his way, finds the open Lopez. And that's something we rarely saw in game 1 from Steve Nash.
Yeah, he's doing a much better job getting on that baseline. I thought the size of the Lakers the other night bothered him tonight. His vision is very good. He's made some great passes.
Bryant rims out, rebound Hill. Hill lost it. Picked up by Gasol as Hill went flying. Bryant gives it right back. Gasol caught his own pass as a travel.
Well, Kobe was too unselfish on that play. He actually should have taken that shot. I think he surprised Pau Gasol, and he shot the air ball, so that's considered an air dribble. Watch this. Kobe's got an open lane to the basket, and he just drops it off, and Gasol shoots an air ball. When you catch your own miss, that's a traveling violation.
Lakers up by 3. We're just underway here at Staples in L.A. Stoudemire trying to get it back to Nash. And the outside official, Joe Crawford, says it's deflected off the Lakers. So the Suns maintain possession. They have 13 on the shot clock. They clear it out for Hill. Who grabs the foul and gets the bucket.
But we're seeing an aggressive Grant Hill making Kobe play. The other night, remember, I thought Grant got a little out of sync, Marv. Remember in the third quarter, he made that same pump fake. There was contact. He did not get the call. Then he came down, got a touch foul, And he got another foul and a technical, and Grant really never got back into the swing of things. So here tonight he gets the call and has a chance to go to the line for a three-point play.
And most unusual for Grant Hill to receive a technical foul.
Yeah, he said after the game, he said, I'm the three-time sportsman, of the league. How can you call that on me just for waving my hand? So Grant was not real thrilled about that.
Yes, a perennial Joe Dumars Sportsmanship Award winner. Artest lost his balance and is tied up by Richardson. Already had 3 jump balls. I'm looking for a possession arrow, I guess.
Now that must be a record, 3 jump balls in a game, let alone in the first 4 minutes of a game.
Artest and Richardson at the Laker end. Richardson met by Artest and fires for 3. Deflected out last touch by Stoudemire.
Well, we always talk about Jason Richardson, how important he is to this team when he has 20 or more, 26-4 in the regular season, 5-0 in the playoffs. He got off to a good start the other night, hit his first 2 threes, and then really got no shots till the third quarter.
Phil Jackson looks at Jason Richardson as the X factor for the Suns. Fisher is off, kept alive though. Bynum called for the traveling violation. In the regular season against the Lakers, Richardson did not shoot the 3 particularly well for a guy who had an excellent season from beyond that three-point line, as the Lakers took 3 of 4 during the season against Phoenix.
And I think one of the reasons, because he was guarding Kobe Bryant, and here he is on that nice curl, that little quick action that they like to run. He had 3 baskets in the third quarter the other night, but when Richardson guarded Kobe in the regular season, I think it took away from his offense.
7-0 run by the Suns. Bynum kept it alive. Bryant got the step on Hill and then able to beat Lopez off the dribble. Hill played by Fisher. Backs him in. Rebounded by Bynum. Fisher going baseline. Sets it up for Bynum. So Bynum, more active here in the opening minutes. He's hit his first 2 shots off good setup, 6 points in all. Hill open for 3. Bryant looking to peg it down court. Richardson got caught on a pick. Rebounded by Kobe. And Lopez came away with it. Good job by Fisher, but he made contact and a foul is called. And this is being played at the Suns' tempo here at the start.
Well, a big part of it, they're getting a few defensive stops. They got to do a better job on the defensive backboard, Marv. That's how they trigger their running game. But the other night, the Lakers ran such an offensive clinic. They shoot 58%, 26 assists, only 9 turnovers. The Suns never could get into that running game.
The ovation for Lamar Odom. Monday night, 19 points, 19 rebounds. Got off to the quick start. 7 straight points in one stretch. Channing Frye, who comes off a 1 of 8 the other night, threw it away. Fisher on the move. And Odom gets to it.
Well, not a good start by Channing Frye. He was very anxious the other night. Took some quick shots. He catches the ball, turns it over, then he runs back and does not get a rebound. Steve Nash thought he was going to clean it up. He does not get it. You see, they run him off that three-point shot. A careless pass. Odom is in there to match up with him to take him away from those quick catch-and-shoot threes. Watch this play now. Steve Nash gets out of the way. And there was Lamar Odom on the doorstep for 2.
Game 2 of this best-of-7 Western Conference Final. Lakers with a 4-point lead right here. Time for Cold Hard Facts presented by Coors Light. Doug, your keys for this evening.
Well, you take a look. What do the Suns have to do to win this game and get back in this series? You expect the Lakers to have the big paint differential with their size, but it can't be 20 points. They need to cut that into half, make it 10. How about the three-point line? The Suns need to win that, I think, in double digits. They were -9 the other night. They shoot 5 of 22. That will not get it done. done. They got to win the bench. Fry and Dudley so critical. 2 for 12 from the three-point line for only 8 points the other night. And the defense, the Suns' defense, that was such improvement, has got to be better. 128 points, Mark, 58% shooting, 47% from three. They have got to be better defensively tonight if they have any hopes of winning this game.
And as we mentioned a number of times, here's Fry. 1 of 10 from the field thus far in this series. We're talking about the Phoenix defense, which did pick up in the playoffs, allowing just 95 points a game over the first 2 rounds, but a different story. Here's Gasol, one-handed by Fry. Oh, look out. Offensive foul. Fisher setting up in front of Stoudemire, was not able to put the brakes on, and Amari's hitting the personal.
Now, Fish is so tough. You see him, Amari not paying attention, and Derek Fisher just steps in, and it's one of those unforced errors. Amari's got to get his head up and make sure he knows where he's running, because Fisher's the master at stepping in and doing that.
First foul on Stoudemire. Fry trying to front Gasol, and a foul. Channing Fry with a very tough assignment. The 7'1" Gasol. It's a non-shooting foul. Hill remaining on Bryant. Artest played by Richardson. Artest banks it home.
Just that superior upper body strength. You saw Jason Richardson get hit in the upper body, and he just got rocked on his heels. And Artest with a great rhythm with a little bank shot.
8-0 run by the Lakers. And once again, we see Stoudemire with that mid-range shot. He was able to hit from down low early, and Alvin Gentry wants to see more of that. Gasol. Oh, it was a fadeaway move.
Oh, he's got such a soft shooting touch. Marv, this is almost the same time in the first quarter the other night when the Lakers went on a 16-1 run. Now it's 10-0, so Lakers once again making that little push.
Defensive 3-second violation called on the Lakers.
Now watch the catch here. The soft hands, gathering himself, and the little fading jump shot. You can't defend that. I mean, he goes with right hand in the post, left hand. I said the other night, he reminds me so much. I think he's maybe a little bit better athlete runner than a Kevin McHale. But he reminds me so much of Kevin McHale in the post. He doesn't have any weakness.
Talking the footwork, and,
yes.
And Kevin would always come back with additional moves after the offseason, and we see that with Gasol too. Coming up on 4 minutes to play in this first quarter. Shot clock down to 3. Hill. Rebounded by Stoudemire. And able to hit.
That's what Amari's got to do. He's got to put his fingerprints all over this game. He can't be 23 and 3. It's got to be 25 to 30 points. He's got to get double-figure rebounds, get in the paint, go to work, give his team an edge inside.
Bryant finding an open Artest for 3. Suns continue to dare Artest to take that shot. Broken up by Fisher. Another bad pass. Artest has a 2-on-1 with Fry back. And pass to Gasol. 7-point Laker lead. Nash lost it. Good job by Fisher. Bryant fouled by Fry.
The turnovers the other night really hurt the Phoenix Suns. They only had 12, Marv, which is fine, but 19 points off those turnovers. The Lakers were plus 9 points off turnovers. And you see Gasol getting out and running. He runs so beautifully on that break. Artest with a nice bounce pass to Too Big Me lead the break, and the Suns turning that ball over has really hurt them early.
Back at Staples Center, LA, 23-16 Laker lead over Phoenix. Time for Gatorade Around the Cooler. Let's check in with Craig Sager. Craig.
Well, thanks, Marv. One of the strengths of the Phoenix Suns is their bench, particularly the three-point shooting of Channing Frye and Jared Dudley. But they were just 2 for 12 in Game 1. Now, one of the greatest three-point shooters in the history of the game is General Manager Steve Kerr of the Suns. He offered advice for both. He said Channing Frye was not getting his feet set. He was worrying about the Lakers recovering and putting a hand in his face. He told him, get your feet set, take your time, go straight up and make the shot. As for Jared Dudley, he said, listen, your shots were very good, but it's like a baseball player hitting a line drive right at somebody. Your shots were hitting the back of the rim. Keep swinging, keep shooting. Now that's credentials from a guy who played in the NBA for 15 years, won 5 NBA titles, and by the way, Marv, he says he also won 4 Emmys working with you.
I believe he donated all 4 to charity. Yeah, Steve had a pretty nice touch from beyond that three-point line. But Alvin Gentry saying the same as Kobe Bryant's on the line, fouled off that scramble by Grant Hill. The fact that Channing Frye rushing the shot, we mentioned he was 1 of 8 from the field, 1 of 7 from downtown the other night.
And he has not played well on the road or shot well on the road in the playoffs, Mark. Going into tonight's game, he was 8 for 33 behind that three-point line. So he's got to find some kind of rhythm on the road.
Lakers with a 25-16 edge. Jared Dudley has come on. Channing Frye. Nash dribbling into a crowd, hit on a reach-in.
Well, one of the things you had talked about, Marv, is Steve Nash. Alvin Gentry thought he needed to get up about 20 shots tonight. Phil Jackson said, we think Nash is going to come out and look to shoot the ball more. He's played, over 9 minutes here and does not have a shot attempt. Now, he does have 5 assists, but Derek Fisher has done a nice job getting up and crowding him and not giving him that outside jump shot.
Jordan Falmar has come on for Fisher, and he's dealing with Nash. Here's Dudley. Oh, he's tripped up by Odom. For the Lakers, team foul number 4. Suns over the limit. Jared Dudley out of Boston College coming to the Suns from the Charlotte Bobcats in that deal involving Jason Richardson. Morris Dio, Roger Bell going to Charlotte. Artest very aggressive, tipped it away, recovered by Richardson, who shoots for 3. A long three-pointer by Richardson.
A big shot there finally for the Phoenix Suns. They had not gotten a three-pointer to go down. They're 1 of 3 now tonight after being 5 of 22 in that Game 1.
Suns the best three-point shooting team in the NBA. Not the case the other night. Odom getting inside, and he's fouled by Dudley.
Sort of interesting. Alvin Gentry's gone to a smaller lineup, and he has Jared Dudley actually playing against Lamar Odom. But a nice hustle by Jason Richardson. Pulls up and knocks that shot down from distance. Suns desperately needed that one to go in, but Alvin Gentry's gone to a smaller lineup. We did not see this the other night, Marv, so he's got Amari Stoudemire really playing center. This is a very fast and a very good three-point shooting team, but they're going to have to do a good job on the board.
And Amari has played quite a bit of center over the years, but we're talking about a taller Laker team, and obviously Alvin feeling that the smaller lineup might prove to their advantage. Sometimes a mismatch can be turned around.
And maybe, spread it out and get those threes to start to fall. He has now come back in with Robin Lopez, so he'll now be matched up against Gasol. So McAlvin realizes that when you go to that small lineup, you're going to have to use it in very short bursts.
Gasol able to punch it to Bryant on the corner. Shoots for 3. Nash and Dudley now in the backcourt. Stoudemire, Lopez, Richardson up front. Richardson off the fake, draws the foul. It's on Artest. The question is, was Richardson in three-point territory, or did he move over that line?
Sometimes when you pump fake, you step in with your foot. I think that's what Ed Malloy is going to go over and maybe take a look at to see if they get this right. But it's hard to see from there whether that toe was on the line or not. That's why it's good you can go to the replay over there and make sure you get this call correctly. You can see, Marv, what the Lakers do. They are so intent on running the Suns off that three-point line closing out, forcing them to take long twos. That's one of the reasons why they're the best team in the NBA at defending that three-point shot.
The Suns 41% during the season from three-point land. In the first two rounds, they shot 42 from downtown. They made about 10 per game. And as we mentioned the other night, since that line was moved back to 23-9, the 41% is the best ever in NBA history. They made the move in 98-99. They moved the line back.
Well, you know, Marv, when you look at that Suns second unit, a big part of their attack is that three-point shot. And the other night they get outscored 44-35. A big part of that was Lamar Odom. He had 19 points, who really isn't a bench player. He's more of a starter. He played more minutes than Bynum. But that's why it's so important here. Jason Richardson to knock down threes, and also Channing Frye and Jared Dudley.
That's a tough one because the foul was actually, the contact was made. It appears that Richardson was right at the line. It's very hard to tell whether he was on the line. He did step over, but it's after the foul. And that's what they're checking out. As you see, just under 2 minutes to play in this first quarter. The Lakers have a 7-point lead. Once again, Lakers shooting very well. They're 10 of 20 from the field. They went at a sizzling pace the other night at 58%. And the announcement that it was a 2-point attempt. He did a step on the line.
Well, if you look at the score there, too, 26 points. They're on pace to have a 30-point quarter. Mark, the other night in the game, the Lakers had 3 30-plus point quarters, 35 in the first, 31 in the third, 35 in the fourth. So the Phoenix Suns cannot survive giving them that many 30-point quarters. It's normally the Suns that live with those 30-point quarters. And in the 3 losses, the Suns do not have a 30-point quarter. That tells you how valuable that is.
(26-21) Lakers. Games 3 and 4 of the series of this Western Conference Final will take place in Phoenix Sunday night, and then next Tuesday night. And the entire Western Conference Final will be seen exclusively here on TNT. Bryant for 3.
The Suns playing zone on that possession. We talked about we might see some zone at the end of that game the other night. They didn't show it because they didn't want the Lakers to have to get used to playing against it. So Kobe knocks down that 3 against the first possession of zone we see.
Nash for 3. Steve Nash connecting on his first field goal attempt.
I think he's happy that Derek Fisher's sitting down right now, a little bit more comfortable right now playing against Jordan Farmer, who's not nearly as strong and physical as Derek Fisher.
Gasol. 6 points for Pau Gasol.
I see the Lakers ready for that zone. Kobe knocks down a 3 that time. They get the ball right in the heart of the defense, and Gasol knocks down a little mid-range jump shot.
Here's Nash. Oh! Dudley took it out of the hands of Gasol, then lost it. Nice pass. Gasol hitting the cutting Odom.
How good is Gasol playing right now, Marv? I mean, he's on top of his game.
Lakers such a good passing team. We've seen it from Gasol. We've seen it from Odom. Obviously, Fisher and Bryant. Richardson came up short. Good job by Artest.
Well, the essence of the triangle offense is passing. There's very little dribbling. And that's why they really don't play with a true point guard. They use ball movement, player movement to create their shots.
They're on their feet here as this first quarter winds down. Artest for 3. Yes! And that will count. They'll review it. But it appeared he got it off on time. Once again, an open shot for Artest, and he's making the Suns pay. He's 4 of 5 from the field. He has 10 points.
Now, 36-point first quarter. That will not get it done for the Phoenix Suns. 58% shooting, right on target where they were the other night when they were on fire in Game 1.
7-0 Laker run to take the 12-point lead after one quarter here in Los Angeles. A look at the forward driving force. Kobe Bryant, the last 6 playoff games, starting with the game against the Thunder in Oklahoma City, 32 points. Utah, 31-30, 35-32, and then Monday night he put up 40 against the Suns. Elgin Baylor, one-time Laker great, holds the NBA record with 11 consecutive 30-plus point games. That was back in the 1962 playoffs. Second quarter underway. Alvin Gentry has made some changes. Leandro Barbosa has come on. Goran Dragic is in there. This is a tip by Lopez. And rebounded by Artest.
Well, this group that Alvin's got on the floor right now, obviously a very high-energy team, but Dragic and Barbosa have to score for this group.
And we talked about this earlier as Farmar makes it a 9-0 run here by the Lakers. And during the course of the season, Phoenix very successful by going with 5 guys off the bench, although Lopez would be considered a starter. Robinson, and the foul is called. But usually you do not see teams go out there with all 5 players coming off the bench. Usually there's one starting player.
I agree with that, Marv. Normally you have like 1 or 2 that anchor that, and then you have 3 other guys out there with them. But Alvin has great confidence in this group.
It has worked during the course of the regular season and first 2 rounds of the playoffs. Robinson at the line. Let's check in with Craig.
Thanks, Bob. We were expected to talk to Alvin Gentry during the Ford coach's corner. He said, wait a second, I got to talk to my team first. He said, they're not playing hard. They're not playing smart. We're doing the same thing we did in game 1. We gave up 30 points in the quarter. They're driving the lane. They have 16 points in the paint. I told Steve Nash, like Doug said, he needs to shoot more. He needs to be more aggressive. Too much dribble penetration. He said, we have to get this offense going. He said, oh, sorry, I didn't get a chance to get to the Ford coach's corner.
And he did say the Ford coach's corner. But Jared Dudley comes right back with a 3 to end the Laker run. Lakers now lead 38-27. Odom gets it inside to Artest and a foul on the Suns.
Well, not a good sign for the Suns also, too, Marv. 18 points in the paint in that first quarter, on pace for 72. I mean, they had 56 in game 1, and we talked about the differential. We expect the Lakers to be able to have the advantage, but they can't win that by 20, 25 points. I mean, the Suns, that's just too many easy points.
Foul is on Barbosa to put Artest at the line as we look at the upcoming national television schedule. ESPN on Saturday. The Eastern Conference Finals, Game 3, Orlando at Boston. How about the Celtics taking both games in Orlando?
I'll tell you what was impressive, you know, Marv, that second game, when you go in and win after you win that first game, I always call that a human nature game where it's easy to let down. As much as you want to tell yourself it's as important to you as it is to Orlando, you know, it really wasn't. You had stole the home court back, but they did a great job. Paul Pierce stepped up the line, made a couple key free throws to put that game away.
And we'll be in Phoenix for Game 3 of this series on Sunday night. 8 o'clock Eastern Time start. Foul is called. Barbosa and Brown in the race. Shannon Brown, who just checked in, is fouled by Barbosa, who collects his second. Shannon Brown, who certainly got the attention of everyone in game 1 with that incredible leap over Jason Richardson. And Doug, you broadcast the game with Vince Carter going over Frederick Weiss in the 2000 Olympics. There are some similarities here.
There are, and Marv, you and I were both talking during that game, and he did that. We both went, oh my goodness. I mean, it looked like he hit a trampoline. I thought he was like one of those Bud Light guys that do their dunk shows at halftime. I thought you said he thought he was going to go right through the backboard.
The difference is Carter did hit his.
Yes.
Shannon Brown saying, I did not look at the rim until I was in the air. And the foul is called on the Lakers. You can see Farmar does not like the call. But Brown soared down the lane. That was early fourth quarter. He catapulted himself at the basket. The sneakers kneeling, hitting the chin of Jason Richardson. Easily the most spectacular missed field goal attempt of the season. Dragic goes behind the back and way off on that shot. Farmar. Dragic cut him off for the foul.
See, one of the things about the Phoenix Suns bench, they're coming in now with a 14-point deficit. There's pressure on them. You look at the Laker bench, they're playing with the lead. So their shots come a lot easier. That's why it's so important for the Phoenix Suns to play with the lead with their bench, Marv. It takes a lot of pressure off those three-point shots and all that they have to live on with this unit.
Director, no foul. The ball was lost out of bounds by Farmar, so Phoenix back in possession. 2 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Fry continues to struggle.
You see Lamar Odom really chasing out at him, just getting in his vision. Didn't quite get a hand in his face, but running at him, and you can see Channing Frye once again is not in any kind of rhythm.
Missed his first 2 shots following the 1 of 8 the other night, and Odom, who was trapped, threw it away.
A little too much dribbling there. I talked a while ago about the triangle offense being a passing offense, and at times a little bit too much bouncing. You got caught in the air and threw the ball away.
Marv Albert, Doug Collins, Craig Sager. We're at Staples in LA, game 2 of this best of 7. Alvin Gentry has his bench players on the floor. His team is down by 14. Lakers trying to take a 2-0 lead. Barbosa nails a 3.
Well, Barbosa and Dragic both played well off the bench in game 1. They were the bright spots for the Suns. They came off the bench with 24 points. They were 10 of 15 from the floor.
Item trying to set a pick. Artest makes the turn. Shot clock to 6. Artest. Amundsen with the rebound. Barbosa changed his mind. Dragic on the drive. Phil Jackson cannot be happy about that.
He has been very aggressive ever since he had that outburst against the San Antonio Spurs in game 3, where he had 26 points in about 13 minutes. He has really been in the attack mode.
Odom blocked from behind by Amundsen. To the rim, yes, and the foul, and the Suns right back in it.
This is what this bench does. They bring great energy. They feed off of getting in the open court. Dragic and Barbosa with the speed, Amundsen with his hustle. They fought themselves back now, only down by 7.
So we'll take a break. Stay tuned for a look at the new video game, Prince of Persia, The Forgotten Sands.
The Lakers by 7, 8:17 to go in the second quarter, and they turnovers early once again hurt the Phoenix Suns. I spoke earlier, 19 points off turnovers in game 1. You see the run out, and anytime the Suns have been turning this ball over, the Lakers have been able to throw ahead and make things happen. Already 10 points here tonight, and you cannot give the Lakers those kind of points. You know they're going to pound you in the paint. You got to take care of the ball. You got to win the turnover battle. And you can see here the plus minus from 3 off turnovers in the paint and fast break in game 1. All Lakers. Suns want to win this game tonight. They got to turn those numbers around, maybe other than the paint. They're not going to win the paint, but they can cut that in half. I think they got a chance.
But the Suns making their way back. They trailed by as many as 14, and Louis Amundsen, who struggles at the line. He missed his first 2 free throws, 55% during the season. Right here trying to complete a 3-point play. Lewis in his 4th season out of UNLV. He played with the Sixers, Utah, spent some time in the D-League. Good pickup by the Phoenix Suns. And they now trail by just 6.
You see Phil Jackson going back, getting Kobe Bryant in the game. Pau Gasol want to go back. He does not want this to slip away going into halftime.
Bryant played by Dudley. Here comes Barbosa. Finding Dudley for 3. Yes, that's his second from downtown, and the bench has done the job here in the second quarter for the Suns. 11 unanswered points for Phoenix.
When you get defensive stops, that's when you run, and that's when the Suns get their 3s.
Amundsen on the foul, reaching over Odom.
You get a defensive stop, you get out and run. Now all of a sudden it's tough to get matched up. Who's got Jared Dudley? Nobody. He knocks it down. That's his second 3. He's feeling it here tonight, and that's exactly what the Suns need. They now get 5 3-point shots after getting off to a very, very slow start.
They hit only 1 of the first 6 at the start of the second. They've hit their last 4 shots. Here's the double on Bryant. Farmar is open off that double team. So Jordan Farmar takes advantage from three-point land. 44-38 Lakers. Fry hesitant. Cannot buy one.
And he who hesitates is lost. You got to shoot the ball. Now you start thinking, and when you get that cerebral thought, usually bad things happen.
Oh, Shannon Brown able to hold on to the ball. Brown. That's his first field goal.
I think Shannon Brown and Jordan Farmar heard enough about Dragic and Barbosa. So they're coming back on the attack themselves as Dragic misses the contested drive.
Farmar able to race down, but he's met by a double. Here's Brown. I don't know if it was a shot or a pass. Bryant ends up with it. Amundsen has played well with that rebound. Here comes Dragic. Barbosa for three. Rebounded by Bryant and a foul.
See, Alvin's got to love this pace now. All of a sudden, it's become racehorse basketball. And when he gets scattered like this, that's when you start seeing those threes. Barbosa had a great look. Couldn't get it to go.
Shannon Brown was tugging on the shorts of one of the Phoenix Suns, called for the foul. Dudley feeling it again. That's his third three-pointer.
And he's making Kobe guard him. That's twice now Kobe has drifted and not given the respect to Dudley, and Dudley's made him pay for it.
He hit 46% from three-point land during the regular season. Gasol, foul. Fry and Amundsen going right at Pau Gasol.
And Kobe just a little late coming off that Amundsen little brush screen, and Dudley feeling it here tonight. I guess his talk with Steve Kerr has helped him here tonight. He said, just keep shooting. Your shots were all on line. Back rim, as Craig Sager has said. Not tonight. They've been right on the mark.
Foul on Fry, his third, putting Gasol at the line. Here's a programming reminder. It's a new season and a new reason to get more leverage. The Leverage 2-hour season premiere event, Sunday, June 20th at 9/8 Central, only on TNT. Amari Stoudemire checks back in, and here's the booze. That in reaction to the statement made yesterday regarding Lamar Odom's terrific game one, which Amari said was lucky.
Always said luck favors prepared man, Byron.
You are coming up with these philosophical quotes here tonight.
That's what you bring out in me.
That's scary. Joe Crawford said it was deflected out, and apparently says last touch by Barbosa. It'll be Laker ball when we come back. Just under 6 remaining in this first half. Marv Albert with the philosophical Doug Collins. We'll be right back. The Israel sellout crowd, better than 19,000 at the Staples in Los Angeles. Sellout crowd, including a very happy Danny DeVito. Tom Cruise sitting just to our right. Dustin Hoffman, who has been a regular here at Laker games. A very passionate Hillary Swank, and she has no idea who that guy is. And Jack, power packed as always here in LA. You were talking earlier about the Phoenix turnovers, committing 7 in the first quarter. They trailed by 12, and Doug, only 1 turnover thus far in the second quarter, and they have outscored the Lakers by 6. Good pressure here by the Suns. Oh, and a good job there. Dudley able to deflect it off the foot of Fisher.
This bench has come in and done a terrific job. They've given them energy. They've brought toughness. Dudley's made shots. Amundsen has put his imprint on this game. So when when the Suns go back to their starters, they have to continue to play the way this bench has played.
Suns are hitting the three-pointer. 6 of their last 8 field goals have been from downtown. Dudley has led the way. Stoudemire is fouled. Basket won't count.
See, Marvin, and interesting. When you know, Dudley is not quick, but when you can shoot and guys run at you, it makes you that half step quicker. And that's exactly what he did. Kobe chased at him. He put the ball on the floor and created a shot for his teammate, Damari Stoudemire. That's the importance of being able to space the floor and shoot the ball.
Foul committed by Bynum. Stoudemire, 77% free throw shooter during the season. Last season set back by several eye injuries, limited to just 53 games, and this after coming back from surgery on both knees. He's had an outstanding all-star season. The Laker lead is now 5. Fisher is back. Fisher, Brown, Bryant, Gasol, and Bynum on the floor for the Lakers. Gasol with room. Rebounded by Bynum. Andrew Bynum playing with an injured knee, providing much more than he did in game 1.
Well, just superior strength. I mean, he just went right into Amundsen and knocked him right on his heels.
Stoudemire, strong move but rejected. Brown for 3. That and Brown from deep in the corner. Lakers open a 10-point lead. Dragic, he draws the foul. He handles the ball so well.
He does a nice job of splitting those pick and rolls. When you have the big guys step out, he does a nice job of getting that dribble low and then pushing it through and then gets to the basket. Marvey's got a great shot fake, and then he's strong enough to finish that basket in the paint. So he's done a nice job off the bench once again here tonight.
Suns just 6 of 10 at the line. Goran Dragic out of Slovenia. Played 4 years in Europe. Struggled last year as a rookie, but has come on. And this is second NBA season.
Well, Alvin Gentry's done a great job of just little by little instilling great confidence. He knocks the ball loose here from behind, so the upcourt pressure has bothered the Lakers.
Fisher in the face of Dragic, who shoots a 3 way off glass.
Tried to pull a Kevin Durant there, drag that thing through and get a 3-point foul.
Ball's knocked away, last touch by the Lakers, and now Steve Nash and Jason Richardson will come back in, replacing Dragic and Barbosa.
See, one of the things that Dragic has done is he's done such a wonderful job of playing well, so Steve Nash can play very quality minutes. He does not have to play the hard minutes that he played before, so he can get a good rest. And normally what you'll see is if they're leading, he'll be able to rest him until the 6-minute mark of the 4th quarter, where he's really fresh to finish the game.
To this point, he's attempted only 2 shots, does have 5 assists, the 1 field goal of 3. Still has that shiner under the right. Able to hit on the fadeaway, rebounded by Bynum. Bryant just 3 of 9 from the field. And the reaching is called on Amundsen.
A tough matchup there. You got Amundsen against Bynum. You've got Amari against Gasol. Both those guys are giving away a lot of size, and just the bulk of Andrew Bynum, just how big he is. And he keeps that ball high. He finishes. He's a good offensive rebounder. And, you know, Marvey's done a nice job here playing with that knee. He's a young guy who's learning the difference between pain and being able to play through that. That's maturity, and I think the fact that he sees Kobe and these guys play every single night has been a real factor in his development in that area.
And he was very honest about it. You rarely hear an athlete tell the truth about an injury. The other day said, it's getting sore there's such a word as sore every day. He says, really hurts. I don't know how long I could go. Usually, I'm fine.
Yeah,
I'm okay.
Yeah, nothing wrong with me.
What are you talking about? What injury? Stoudemire, yes. Lakers have a 53-45 lead as we approach 3 minutes to play in this first half.
The Suns did a nice job the other night getting the game to 7 at halftime. See if the Lakers can push it a little bit more. Can the Suns hang in and keep this close?
Artest for 3. The Lakers continue to find a wide open Artest. Obviously, the Suns do not respect the shot, but he's hitting it.
Well, you got to give something. If you're going to help on Kobe and Gasol, somebody's going to get the shot. Right now, it's Artest.
Stoudemire. Bynum able to get it to Bryant. Artest, who has shown good judgment, good shot selection in the first half, as he did the other night. Things did change in the second half when the game got out of hand. Fisher had it knocked away. Fisher on the recovery. Nice pass. Bynum on a reverse.
Just the way Phil Jackson drew that one up.
Yeah.
That play had disaster written all over it.
How about 11.6 rebounds for Andrew Bynum? Nash. That's a flashback move for Steve Nash.
Yeah, he does such a nice job of creating space, because being undersized, you've got to be able to do that to get it over those big players in the paint.
Just under 2 left in the half. Bryant, oh, he lost it. Tried to get a little too tricky. Here's Richardson. Try to put a move on Dudley, and it cost.
Yeah, Kobe went between his legs about 6 times on that play, and Dudley did not bite on it. See, early in the game one, Dudley picked up 2 quick fouls, and Alvin Gentry told us before the game he thought that really hurt him throughout the game.
Saul feeling for Stoudemire. Bryant. Fisher open for 3. The Lakers continue to hit the 3-point shot as they did on Monday night. 7 of 11 from downtown. Lopez, yes, and the foul is called on Bynum.
How about the rhythm in Lopez's game, Mark? We talked about it the other night, how well he played. We thought coming back tonight, he might really struggle, but this is a great assist by Kobe against that zone defense, getting in the middle. You double team. Shannon Brown knocks down the 3 from the corner. This was the play at the end of the first quarter. Artest knocked the 3 down. Kobe trusting his teammates, and they are delivering.
The Lakers have hit 5 of the last 6 shots, and they have opened up a 10-point lead with 1:17 left in this first half. And Doug, kind of a similar story to what took place in the first half in game 1.
The Suns were so excited about the improvement they had made over the last 30, 35 games or so, the first 2 rounds in the playoffs. You see in game 1, 128 points, most allowed in the playoffs since '94. How about the Lakers shoot 58%? Kobe 40, probably could add 50, didn't play the last 9 minutes of the game. Here we are tonight already. They have 61 points, shooting 56%. How about this, Marv? They have 17 assists on 22 field goals and balance, 22 points in the paint, 21 from behind the 3-point line. So they're doing it inside and outside.
Robin Lopez able to complete the 3-point play. And the other night, Kobe Bryant with 21 of his 40 in the third quarter for Kobe, an all-time playoff high in a quarter. Bryant guarded by Dudley, able to get the step. Deflected out by Odom. 21-point win in game 1 for the Lakers. They led by as many as 28. Picked off by Fisher, but a foul. It is on Artest.
Well, Joey Crawford a little late on that. He was waiting to see what was going to happen. It was a foul. Alvin Gentry jumped up, and he sort of looked at him and said, I got it. I got it. So Joey all over that one.
Second on Artest. Both clubs over the foul limit. So Lopez, who is an excellent free throw shooter, 88% during the season. Second-year player out of Stanford, has been hit by several injuries this season. In fact, before the game the other night, had not played since the end of March. Coming up, the T-Mobile halftime report. Ernie, Kenny, Charles, and Richie are here at Staples. And we'll take a look back at this first half. And I'm sure we'll have much more to say
well, it's interesting
about other matters.
Yeah, Mark, the other night at halftime, 62-55. Here we are, 61-54, almost identical scores.
Bryant knocks it down. 11 points for Kobe Bryant. 4 of 11 shooting. Nash behind the back. What a move. Wow. And is able to hit.
Create that space and step back. That's a tough shot.
The Laker lead is 7.
We saw in the first quarter, Kobe took that ball at the top of the circle, isolated, drove, and hit a guy in the corner, Artest, for a three-point shot. Let's see what the Lakers do on this possession.
Well, they can play it out. Final seconds of the half. Out of 5. Fisher on a driving move. Beautifully done. With just 1 second remaining. Halftime here in Los Angeles. And the Lakers have a 65-56 lead. 65 points. The Lakers' high point half in this year's postseason. See the scoring leaders for the Lakers are Artest with 15, 11 apiece for Bryant and Bynum. And Stoudemire, the high man for the Suns, with 11. Let's go to Craig with Ron Artest.
Thanks, Mark. One of Doug Collins' keys was that Phoenix needs to win the three-point line, but yet you guys have the advantage again tonight. Jason Richardson keeps leaving you. How are you getting all these open looks and Kobe finding you?
I mean, they leave me wide open. And, the right way to play is, to get the ball inside for the triangle for the Lakers, for the Lakers offense. But they gotta give something. They leave me wide open. I was a little uncomfortable with it, but as teams keep leaving me open, I was shooting 40%, at one time from the 3. So, hopefully they just go down.
What about on the defensive end? Right now you have a 9-point lead. They're going to make a run. What do you guys have to do?
We just got to continue to play hard. We fell asleep a little bit. We got to continue to play hard. We got to play like how I used to play back in Queensbridge Projects. You know what I mean, Craig?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You already know.
All right, thanks a lot. We'll be back with the T-Mobile Halftime Report. EJ, Kenny, Charles, and Reggie from the Staples Center in L.A.
Time at Staples Center in Los Angeles. Lakers have a 65-56 lead over Phoenix moments ago. This is the scene in both locker rooms.
They rebound 2 offensive rebounds off missed free throws. And they have 5 offensive rebounds. They have 8 points. We have 10 offensive rebounds. We don't even have as many points as they do.
You know what? If we're going to go down, we got to go down fighting. We got to go down just like we always have. We have to give it our best shot, though. That's not our best shot right there. Go!
Doug, earlier when we were talking with Phoenix head coach Alvin Gentry, he said, you know what our problem is? We are giving the Lakers too much respect, and obviously he feels the same way.
Yeah, I think he sees it on both ends of the floor. He felt like they were much more aggressive against both Portland and San Antonio. The Lakers have knocked them back a little bit, Marv. I think they've taken a little of that confidence away from them.
And tonight, first half, same story as Game 1 on Monday night. 62 points halftime in Game 1, 65 right here. See the shooting percentage? About the same. They're hitting the three-point shot again.
And Kobe has 9 assists in the ball game. Has not shot the ball well. His playoff high is 11, so you expect him to break that tonight. But Ron Artest stepping up and knocking down those threes has really hurt the Suns because his man has been the one trying to help on Gasol and both Kobe Bryant.
Lakers have led by as many as 14. Phoenix got it down at 3 with an 11-0 burst off the steal. Lakers back in possession. Both teams with their starting lineups on the floor. Fisher is fouled. Right here we'll go over to Craig Sager. Craig.
Well, Alvin Gentry said it's time to go back to the basics, basic defense. He says everybody has to have their own man. That means that Jason Richardson will be on our test, and he's not supposed to leave him as he has been. He said Kobe's just picking us apart too much. Grant Hill will have to do a good job on him. Somehow we have to find a way to slow him down, and right now it's not working by leaving our test open and doubling Kobe. As for Channing Frye, very disappointed in his play. He says, I'll give him one more shot, but he's on a short leash.
Well, Channing Frye, 1 of 8 from the field in Game 1, 1 of 7 from beyond that three-point line, and tonight, Doug, 0 for 3 in 7 minutes of play in the first half.
Well, I think Alvin would like to see some passion. I think what's happened now, Channing Frye's allowed his poor shooting to leak into every other phase of his game. He's not rebounding, he's not defending. There's Jason Richardson, that play they love to run, that little quick-hitting play that he curls off that screen. But you need to play with passion, Mark. You can't let your shooting define you. You've got to do other things when that's not working.
Gasol played by Stoudemire. And that's a traveling violation. Oh, wait a moment.
I think he said that Stoudemire pulled him back into that travel.
So Stoudemire called for his second foul.
How about Amari Stoudemire the other night had 3 rebounds. Tonight Marvy has only one offensive rebound. You're going to see him right here sort of grab him, get his hands on him, and then they call him then for the pullback. But Amari Stoudemire has 1 rebound in his last 5 quarters.
Here is Gasol. To this point for Powell, just 3 of 7 points, but Artest has picked it up with 15. Bynum has 11. Shot clock down to 5. Richardson. Oh! Bryant and Fisher in the backcourt. Artest, Bynum, Gasol up front. Nice fake by Bryant. 13 points for Kobe Bryant. He has hit 5 of 12 from the field, as you mentioned, but 9 assists for Bryant, all of the first half. Hill not even looking for the shot. Richardson for 3.
I think you recognize the fact Jason Richardson in that short corner over there knocking that 3, how important his scoring is to this team. The Suns are going to have to get some defensive stops, and you just can't keep changing baskets with the Lakers. They're up 8 here and getting anything they want on the offensive end.
And the call is last touched by the Lakers. Lakers looking puzzled about that call.
I think that ball went off Jason Richardson. That's why they wanted to get it in a hurry before the referees had a chance to confirm. Or they're going to go right back to that same play game with Jason Richardson. And Phil Jackson says, we're going to talk about this. He does not like his team's energy coming out of the halftime.
This is one of those times where Phil does not want his team to try and play through it. Richardson with 16 points, and they're within 6. Now look at that last call that went in favor of the Suns.
There's no question it went off his head, and then Jason Richardson, they run that curl play once again. He cuts off that so hard, the Suns are back within 6.
Well, that Laker lead is now down to 6 early third quarter. Let's take a look at the Budweiser Thirst Row, brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of the Thirst quarter. Now, these 3 guys will be meeting up with Doug at the hotel later tonight.
Who recruited these guys? Oh.
Very careful selection.
Yes.
2.5 gone by in the third. A 14-point lead trimmed to 6. Rejected, but that will count as a goaltend. Lopez getting a piece of it.
Now, Murray's got to leave that one alone. Anytime the ball is out of a man's hands that long, that's going to be called a goaltend. You see this, it's an easy call by the officials, and we got to keep our eye on Andrew Bynum. Phil said it's very difficult for him to come out after the long halftime and get himself involved in the game.
Richardson, he's been on fire. Richardson with all 7 points for the Suns here in the third quarter. Phoenix with a new shot clock. Grant Hill once again quiet at the offensive end. Hill, yes.
Nice step through move. That time Kobe went way underneath the screen, daring Grant to shoot that shot. And Grant did a nice job of getting the angle and getting into the painted area for that little floater.
Gasol getting position. He has the knack. If it hits the rim, it's usually a friendly roll. And as Stoudemire spins, he loses.
That's 4 turnovers now for Amari Stoudemire. So you look up there and you said, yes, he has 11 points, but he has 1 rebound and 4 turnovers, no assists. And that's not having the impact that we talked needed to have, Marv.
And this coming off the 3-rebound game on Monday night. Fisher, Stoudemire with his second rebound. Hill, nice lead pass thrown by Nash. Once again, Phoenix within 6. try to tie up this series. The Lakers hoping to take the 2-0 lead back to Phoenix. Bryant. So tough to stop that move. The little pull-up.
You got to pick your poison, Marv. If you double team, here's Nash with that pull-up three, and Amari with the offensive rebound. If you're going to double team Kobe, then you're going to give up open shots.
Nash. Probing couldn't find anybody. There's Stoudemire in the crowd. He draws the foul. Gasol raising his hand. It appeared that it was Bynum. It is number 4 on Bynum.
Well, Grant Hill on this screen. Watch Kobe Bryant go way underneath this screen. I mean, this is underneath the foul line, and Grant gets a nice angle and then steps through with a little floater. Nice play by Grant Hill. Then he leaks out and gets a dunk. So Grant, 1 of 5 in that first half, gets 2 quick field goals.
Stoudemire now 1 of 3 at the line. Here's Lamar Odom for Andrew Bynum. Bynum hearing the cheers. 5 for 5 from the field, 13 points and 7 rebounds. A nice bounce back game for Bynum. Stoudemire missing on both. And that's a tie-up. They'll jump it up.
Remember what Phil Jackson was talking about to his team at halftime? He said, we gave up 2 baskets off missed free throws. Very fortunate there because Robin Lopez stepped in and got that offensive rebound and almost finished it up. So I'm sure Phil is going to show some tape on the rebounding off missed free throws in between games 2 and 3.
Fisher winning the tip. Fisher all the way. He'll change that shot. And a foul is called as Artest was hit. Foul is called on Richardson. Ron Artest to the line, a 75% free throw shooter during the season. In his first year with the Lakers, averaged 11 points, 5 rebounds, signing with the Lakers as a free agent following a year with the Houston Rockets.
That's one of those series where maybe his defensive impact isn't quite as big as it was earlier. In the first series against Oklahoma City, he was guarding Kevin Durant. And although Kevin Durant threw up some games, I mean, he made him really work, Marv. He made him shoot the ball poorly, really challenged most every shot he took, and was a big part of the Lakers winning that in 6 games.
Strong game here tonight for Artest. Jared Dudley checked back in. Instrumental in that run by the Suns in the second quarter, hitting 3 of 3 from beyond that 3-point line.
Small lineup once again by the Suns. Better 3-point shooting here. Bradley going to the back door, misses the layup.
And last touch by Odom. Ed Malloy working the baseline, looking for help, and Mike Callahan had a better look at it.
Nice bounce pass by Steve Nash. Again, a little cutter to Dudley misses it. Looked like the ball went off of Lamar Odom, but I think you see Dudley's in the game instead of Channing Frye against Odom.
Richardson backs his way to 3-point territory.
Well, he's on fire here to start this third period. He's hit a couple threes, but Marv, what happens when you give a guy a couple layups like they give him? He gets those shots to go in from close range. Really opens up that basket.
19 for Richardson, 10 have come here in the third, and again the Suns are within 6. Gasol, Odom able to keep it alive, and he is fouled.
That's a problem with the small lineup. I mean, Alvin is going with that small lineup because it's probably his best lineup right now with Odom in the game, but you have trouble rebounding the basketball. That's why Amari Stoudemire has really got to go to the boards, as well as Jason Richardson and Grant Hill. Those 2 guys actually were their leading rebounders in the first couple rounds, rebounding from that wing position.
Third foul on Stoudemire. Phoenix already with 4 team fouls. Odom, nice beautifully done. The Laker lead is 8. Halfway through the third quarter. Hill. That's his second bucket in this third quarter. 9 points in all for Grant Hill.
If you watch the Laker big guys, they do such a great job jumping out on those screen rolls. Marv, they really spread out. They get their hands out. And what they want Steve Nash to do is go sideline to sideline. So they're so important about keeping him out of the paint.
Artest, 6 of 8 shooting, 18 points. Delay of game warning is called. The ball is knocked aside. If there's another delay of game, it's a technical foul. Nash, Dudley, Richardson, Hill, and Stoudemire on the floor for the Suns. Stoudemire is inside. He's blocked from behind. Misses the follow. Bryant with the block from the weak side, and then Stoudemire had a chance to put it down, but could not. Fisher for 3. Rebounded by Richardson. Yes! 4 of 4 from three-point range.
See, no hesitation by Dudley. And what Alvin Gentry's done, he's got Dudley in the game. He put him on Kobe Bryant, and he has Grant Hill guarding Lamar Odom. So he switched up that matchup. And Dudley's come in and once again done a nice job for them.
Aaron Dudley in his 3rd season out of Boston College. Odom able to take advantage. Richardson went for the steal. He gambled. 82-75. Lakers. 4.5 left in this third quarter. Marv Albert, Doug Collins, Craig Sager from Staples Center in LA. Nice pass. It's Stoudemire with the stuff.
Not going to miss that one. Kobe got the one earlier with a dunk, then he missed the follow-up. That time he went in with power. Those are the kind of plays that Amari needs to make, Marv. Those are the signature plays that inspire his teammate. That's playing with force.
13 points for Stoudemire.
How good is Gasol? I know I keep talking about he's out on the elbow, the pinch post area, the beautiful pass off the dribble.
It's like a technical foul is called because of another delay of game.
See, that's a big part of the Suns' game, though. They want to get that ball out of the rim and make and run either on made field goals, Marv. So look at the size of Gasol just seeing right over the defense, and Odom grabs it once again. That's twice he's done that because the Suns want to get the ball in, and I've heard Phil Jackson say on many occasions he thinks the Suns are more dangerous running after made field goals than they are misses. And so that's why you cannot touch that ball to prevent them from getting that ball out and getting in the open floor.
Nash converts the technical. Lakers up by 6 with just under 4 minutes to play here in the third. Richardson got the hot hand. Rebound Gasol. Setting it up, using the screen, and on a switch. Bad pass, Dudley on it. Artest tipped it. Richardson able to lay it home.
Well, Jared Dudley's played well tonight. He has been all over the floor, giving his team a huge lift. That's what he's done all season long. He's been that glue guy. And tonight, he's a big part of why this game is really important game right now.
Gasol will head to the line. Foul is committed by Dudley. That is his second. Al Gasol, 1 of 2 at the line. A programming reminder from executive producer Ice Cube. Comes a brand new sitcom about one family's journey to get there. Are we there yet? A brand new series premieres June 2nd at 9, 8 Central, only on TBS. 12 points for Gasol. So the Lakers have 4 men in double figures. Artest leads the way tonight with 18. Bryant with 15. 13 for Bynum. And Gasol now with 13 points. Odom off the bench has hit 4 of 5, 9.6 rebounds. He's had a solid game again.
And Jason Richardson with 21, and normally that 20-point mark is good news for his teammates. Let's see if he can find a way to help his team get the victory here tonight.
Trying to trap Nash. Hill wide open. Yes, and Grant Hill has found the range in this third quarter.
And Alvin Gentry's found a lineup that is working. Instead of having Channing Frye out there, he's come out there with Dudley. He's got Grant Hill against Odom. That matchup has been good, and the Suns are getting back in this ball game.
And 3-second violation is called, so the ball back to Phoenix.
Amari Stoudemire, when he has these kind of finishes, it inspires his teammates. He needs more of these. He needs more rebounds. The Suns are hanging around, much more competitive tonight. They got a chance to break through here.
Within 4, they had it down to 3 in one stretch in the second quarter. As we come up on 2 minutes to play in the third. Hill has hit 4 for 4 in this third quarter, and he is blocked. It's a non-shooting foul, only the second team foul on the Lakers, only the second on Bryant.
Great spacing on the floor with this unit by the Phoenix Suns. They've got guys who can shoot the ball, and what they're doing is allowing Grant Hill to attack off the dribble as well as Nash. They have 11 field goals in this quarter, 9 assists, so they're very efficient on the offensive end here in this period.
Hill. Yes, oh, he's on fire. That's 5 for 5 now for Grant Hill in this third quarter. This is the closest the Suns have been since back in the opening quarter. Gasol stopped by Stoudemire. And a bad pass. Richardson diving on the floor to come up with it. Hill is fouled. Nice move to draw it against Artest.
Well, Alvin Gentry's got to be very, very happy right now because he told his team at halftime, you know, let's give it our best effort and let's get out and compete. Take a look at Alvin there, but look at the spacing on the floor here for the Phoenix Suns. Now, that's what three-point shooting will do. Now you play that middle pick and roll, and you give it to Grant Hill, and he attacks and pulls up and shoots that little jump shot. So Alvin Gentry has gone to a lineup here tonight. He's taken Lopez out of the game. He's gone small. He's put Dudley in instead of Frye. And this unit has gone to work and got him back in the ball game.
14 points for Hill. This is the 11th time the Lakers and the Suns have met in the playoffs. Lakers have won 7 of the previous 11. The game is now tied at 86. Oh, Gasol! Pau Gasol off that lead pass has given the Lakers a 2-point lead. Hill to the pull-up again.
Guess who? I mean, he's just walking right into that shot in rhythm right now. See, he's not having to guard Kobe Bryant. He's guarding Lamar Odom, and it's really picked up Grant's offensive game.
Odom rebounded by Nash, and the Suns can take the lead. They did have a 2-point lead briefly at the start of the game. Richardson feeling for Fisher. Odom over to help. Hill over Gasol. Bryant. Lakers back up by 2. Just under a half minute to play in the third. Nash, yes, and the game is tied.
Steve Nash, 12 assists, now 11 points. I mean, Fisher's done a nice job. The one thing he's done is he's chased Steve off that three-point line. All those shots Steve are hitting are tough twos.
Down to 10 seconds left, third quarter. Bryant played by Dudley. Bryant for 3. Gasol, that would have been too late. Lakers looking for a foul. There is no call. So the Suns have come back from a 14-point deficit. After 3, Suns and Lakers tied at 90 in this Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals.
Welcome back to the Staples Center in Los Angeles, where right now the score is tied at 90. Time for the Ford Coaches Corner, and I'm with Phil Jackson. That quarter, a couple lineup changes for the Phoenix Suns, and it looked like Grant Hill really got them going. What do you guys have to do defensively to stop that?
Well, they're creating a screen roll situation with Smalls in this situation, and as a result, Grant's the guy that's open for the shots, and he's making them. That's good.
Kobe picked them apart with 9 assists in the first half. He did not have any assists in this quarter. What do you expect from him in the fourth? Will we take the game over offensively with scoring? Or
well, we're going to take what they give us right now. We're having a little trouble down at the offensive end. We lost the ball a couple times, turned it over.
All right, thanks a lot. Back to you, Mark.
All right, thank you, Craig. 34 points for the Suns in the third after a 32-point second quarter. The game is tied at 90, and Alvin Gentry sending on the second-year man Goran Dragic for Steve Nash. And but he usually look for Nash, what, about the 6-minute mark?
Yeah, but he stayed with everybody else, so he likes that rhythm, and all he's done is going to give Nash a little rest. Let's see if Dragic can keep up the pace.
Jordan Farmar just checked back in, hits the three. Farmar and Brown in the backcourt. Off the steal, Farmar. He got caught, tried to get it to Brown. Brown with the save attempt. And it's deflected out by Dragic. Jordan Farmar holding his head as if to say, why did I do that?
Well, it's important now for Dragic. He's got to come in now and play well for them. If they're going to give Nash some rest. Watch Farmar here as he just slides down and nobody guarding him at all. Dragic went to the wrong man, rotated up. Jason Richardson was actually up there, should have stayed home. Left the three-point shooter, then turned the ball over. Now Jason Richardson's going to get a little bit of a rest, coming in with Barbosa to go into the backcourt with Dragic.
Just underway, fourth quarter. Marv Albert, Doug Collins, Craig Sager. Game 2 of this best of 7. Suns trying to tie the series. Lakers hoping to take a 2-0 lead as they head to Phoenix for games 3 and 4 Sunday night and the next Tuesday night. The entire Western Conference Finals will be seen right here on TNT. Farmar comes up short.
Not sure Phil Jackson was happy with that possession. That was all dribbling by Farmar until he took a very high degree of difficulty shot.
Grant Hill had the hot hand in the third quarter. Here's Hill. And the rebound snatched by Gasol. Dudley on Bryant once again. Nice pass. Gasol from Bryant. Kobe Bryant with assist number 10.
Well, Amari Stoudemire, when he rotates back, he's got to get his hands in the passing lane. You've got to discourage that little bullet pass right through the lane by Kobe.
Lakers have scored the first 5 points of this fourth quarter. Dudley with a long 3. That's 5 from downtown for Jared Dudley. He's 5 for 5 from beyond that 3-point line. And that equals a playoff career high for Dudley.
That's a big shot because the Lakers were creating a little distance. Mark, you talked about it, 5 points, and it looked like that shot clock was going to burn up against them.
Dudley shooting 46% from 3 during the regular season. Gasol rimmed out, and it's deflected out by Barbosa. Lakers get the new clock. Shade over 2 minutes gone by in this fourth, and the Lakers with a 2-point edge. Foul on Dudley.
Now the important thing, that ball was in the air. Had that ball still been in the passer's hand, that would have been a 2-shot foul. So fortunately for Jared Dudley, that ball was in the air, so it'll be sideline out of bounds. Amundsen coming in for Grant Hill. And what you're going to lose there is Lamar Odom can roam now defensively, because Amundsen's not the threat that Grant Hill was to put that ball on the floor and hit that mid-range jump shot.
Amundsen playing 8.5 minutes in the first half. Did a good job during the course of that spurt by the bench in the second quarter. Bryant, a good play by Dudley, stepped away, did not go for the fake. Barbosa. And Odom with the box out. Bryant met by Dudley. Kobe gets it down low to Odom.
Kobe just waited. He could feel that double team coming. And he has just been on target all night long with his passing.
Assist number 11, along with 17 points. Dragic, watched by Farmar. Shot clock out of 5. Nothing with a bounce pass, and Amundsen is fouled.
That 1-2 punch we talked about them, it's so brilliant. You see Amari Stoudemire rotating back. He and Grant Hill are back there. You got to get hands in the passing lane. The pass does not come up high, but it goes right through the teeth of the defense by the Phoenix Suns. And Pau Gasol, that 1-2 punch we talked about, he and Kobe are going to work. Well, Lakers by 4, 8:52 remaining here in the ball game. And basketball is all about eye contact. Kobe Bryant, you see he and Pau Gasol, that eye contact, said throw it up to the basket. He throws him the bullet pass down lane. Now you look over on the bench. You look at each other with that eye contact. Yep, it's time for us to go to work. This game is close. If the Lakers are going to win, these two guys are going to have to take over, as they have done in the closeout game in Utah and then in game 1 in this series, where they combined for 126 points in those 2 games.
And we have a good one going here with Amundsen at the line. 1 of 3 at the line, and not a good free throw shooter, 55% during the season. Channing Frye checking in after having a very difficult time in the first half. This is the first time he's played in the second half, so they'll give it another run with Frye coming off the 1 of 8 from the field in game 1.
I think the Suns want to see some passion and fire from him. Forget about missing shots. Go to work and get some rebounds and defend. And Gasol catching that ball once again, rolling through the lane with all kinds of congestion. You've got to trust a big man that he can catch that ball. And the Suns know that this guy, when he rolls to the basket, you better get some hands in the passing lane.
Dudley came over, committed the foul. That's 4 on Dudley. Gasol 4 of 5 at the line. Hey, you can check out TNT Overtime live now on NBA.com to watch exclusive player follow cameras of the Suns and the Lakers. TNT Overtime only on NBA.com. Gasol with 19 points. Shannon Brown is checked back in, coming on for Kobe Bryant. Dragic played by Farmar. Dudley tripped up. It is a non-shooting foul. What a performance by the 3-year man out of Boston College, Jared Dudley. A look at some of the performances tonight with Kobe, as you mentioned, tying a playoff career high with 11 assists. Dudley, 5 3-pointers, ties his playoff career high. Grant Hill with the big third quarter. 6 of 7 from the field in the third, 17 points in all.
Yeah, both coaches right now trying to get some rest for their key players, hoping the last 6 minutes of this game that they'll be fresh to finish.
As we'll see Steve Nash at about the 6-minute mark. Here is Frye for 3, and again there was a slight hesitation, but he had a release with the shot clock rolling down.
Yeah, he's pump faking. You just got to catch and shoot it. Then it becomes, mental. Then, Marv, you catch the ball and you've missed it before you even take the shot.
99-95 Lakers, and Nash is over at the scorer's table. Brown getting inside, and he is fouled. Brown foul of the act will go to the line.
Marv, this is what you were talking about a while ago. Watch this right here. He sees Odom, and there's the little pump fake. And when you do that, that is such a difficult shot from behind that three-point line to try to get any kind of rhythm at all in your shot.
So he is 1 of 12 over the first 2 games, and you can see how he has struggled on the road. Channing Frye in his 5th season out of Arizona. Had a solid rookie year with the Knicks, spent 2 years in New York. Couple of years with Portland. And then he grew up in Phoenix, back home. And his St. Mary's High School to the state title before going to Arizona. Block shot.
Barbosa. Looked like he hit his head on one of those cameras over there as he fell backwards. Almost added insult to injury. The fact that he got his shot blocked and the ball almost came down on him. Looks like he's cut the back of his head. It's that play that they run for Jason Richardson, that quick curl. You see the block shot, and as he goes back, oh, he hits his head on that camera. And he's got a cut on the back of his head.
Aaron Nelson, the athletic trainer, will check him out. Odom was called for a foul on that play. Got a piece of the ball and sent Barbosa flying. And now they say no foul. It is a clean block shot by Odom, his third rejection of the night.
And Steve Nash and Jason Richardson are coming back in the game, so Dragic and Barbosa get very few minutes here. Alvin Gentry realizing a 6-point game, Barbosa having to leave because of the cut on the back of his head, but Nash normally likes to come back in at the 6-minute mark or so about a minute and 40 seconds earlier than he normally comes back. But Alvin Gentry has no other choice. They've lost 6 points in this game with Nash sitting.
And at this point, there is a sense of urgency. Yes. A chance to win a game here in LA. Oh, Fry with a catch and shoot. Cannot hit, but a foul on the Lakers. Dudley sent flying.
Dudley had a little Hollywood in that one. He did a nice job that time. Shannon Brown got his arm on him, and watch him here. He really sells this call. Watch Shannon Brown here. And just Dudley just goes down. Good acting there in Hollywood. Shannon Brown said, I didn't do anything.
Brown commits his second. Fry will sit down. And Dudley also departs. Stoudemire and Richardson return. Here's Bryant back. Coming on for Brown.
You see Phil Jackson normally likes to give Kobe a little more rest than that. Not taking any chance, Marv. You talked about the importance of this game, either going up 2-0 or Phoenix stealing the home court advantage.
And that pass off the mark. Nash says, my fault, which it was.
You love that about Steve Nash, though. When you know, rather than look at Amari like you didn't pop to the right spot or whatever, hey, I threw the ball away. Let's get back and play.
Farmer for three, wide open shot. Suns did not close, and the Lakers have opened up a 9-point lead. Farmar's hit 3 of 3 from downtown. Here is Nash. Gotta hand it off. Nash's foul took a bump from Farmar. Basket won't count. 4th team foul on the Lakers.
Well, you look at that Laker bench once again. Odom off the bench, 11 points and 7 rebounds, 3 assists. And Farmar has 11 points, Marv, on 5 shots. You talked about the 3 threes that he's hit.
Following that 34-point third quarter by the Suns, they outscored the Lakers by 9. Only 1 of 6 from the field here in the 4th, and they've turned it over twice. Nash couldn't see over the defense.
That's right. The size of Gasol just blinded his vision.
Bryant behind the back. Bryant, yes. Timeout, Phoenix. A 9-0 run by the Lakers.
The tough part about it, when you got to go to your bench to get a little rest, the Suns lost all their rhythm. Steve Nash sat down. Dragic came in, Barbosa, Kobe now going to work, he and Gasol. It's their time to try to finish this game. Kobe with a step-back jump shot.
The Lakers have taken a 106-95 lead, and Doug, for Kobe Bryant, it has been a solid all-around game.
Yeah, 11 assists, which ties his playoff high, Marv. We've talked about that, but what's happened is early in the game, in the first half, the Suns were really helping off of Ron Artest's man, so Kobe was picking them apart. He had 9 first-half assists, only 2 in the second half because they're playing him more straight up. So as the Suns have now gone back to not helping as much to take away shots from other people, Kobe now is looking to be more of a scorer here to finish the game.
Alvin Gentry sending on Grant Hill. The steal by Artest. 4th turnover for for the Suns in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's really killing them. And you heard Phil Jackson talk to Craig Sager that it was really hurting the Lakers in that third quarter. Well, it's been the turnovers for the Suns here in the fourth.
Bryant with lots of room. Able to hit. Richardson rebounds. Protecting on Gasol. Nice move by Grant Hill, who's played well. Had the big third quarter, 19 points in all.
You know what really helped Grant Hill is when Alvin Gentry switched him off of Kobe Bryant and put him on Lamar Odom, which he's playing again, really freed him up on the offensive end.
First field goal for the Suns in 3.5 minutes. Gasol gets inside. That counts for the foul. Assist number 12 for Bryant, 21 points for Gasol. Let's check in with Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, Phoenix's athletic trainer, Aaron Nelson, back on the bench. Leandro Barbosa back in the locker room in the hands of Dr. Tom Carter. He has a gash on the back of his head, is being stitched up right now between 3 and 4 stitches, and he will be eligible to return.
All right, thank you, Craig. Gasol not able to complete the three-point play. An offensive foul, which is yet another Phoenix turnover. It's on Stoudemire. That's number 4.
Derek Fisher punishes screens. If you're going to step up and screen him, you better get yourself. What Fisher does, look how he wraps himself and gets through that screen. A lot of point guards will hit that screen, what I call it, Velcro to it, just stick to it. Not Fisher. He's going to get that arm through. He's going to punish the screener, and that time he got the call.
But again, Doug, particularly where the Lakers are able to pull off these runs, which they've done here in the fourth, Suns are having difficulty with the size and length of that Laker front line. In fact, after game 1, Steve Nash was asked about that. He said, yes, they're certainly a lot bigger than we are, and they're probably going to be taller than us as the series goes on. Dudley collects his 5th. Suns now over the foul limit. Bryant to the line.
And Marv, they've really done a pretty good job tonight in terms on Kobe. I know he has 12 assists, but he's taken 18 shots to get 19 points because he's only been to the line twice. This is his 3rd and 4th free throws. That's his 20th point. And we always talk about Jason Richardson and being a 20-point scorer, what it means to the Suns. When Gasol and Kobe Bryant both scored 20 in the same playoff game, they're undefeated. They're 5-0. So when those two guys get theirs, they're very tough to beat.
Getting much help tonight. Artest chipping with 18. Bynum with 13. 11 apiece for Odom and Farmar. Talk about the efficiency of Kobe Bryant. The other night, 40 points in 35 minutes of play. Hill over Bryant, yes. What a night for Grant Hill.
Yeah, he was 1 of 5 in that first half, and then all of a sudden when Alvin made that switch, went to Grant Hill going against Lamar Odom, his offensive game broke loose.
21 in all for Hill, just under 5 to play in the fourth. They clear it out for Bryant. Hands to Odom, the shot blocked by Stoudemire. Steve Nash held in check once again here tonight. Hill, yes.
Grant Hill's just knocking that mid-range jump shot down on every occasion. You know, I'm wondering if Phil Jackson is saying, you know what, we'll live with those 2-point jump shots if we keep the Suns away from that 3-point line, because they have really stretched out that defense to 3.
Hill is at 9 of 11 from the field in the second half. Gasol, that will count on the foul.
So you show too early on that screen, and Gasol's going to slip it. Watch what happens here. Look where Amari Stoudemire is. He's standing outside, flat-footed. No contact at all with the screener. Look where he is. I mean, he's just standing there, and then he just slips the screen. You've got to come out. You've got to have your knees bent. You've got to have contact with the screener. And, I mean, that was just way too easy.
Stoudemire picked up number 5. Once again, Gasol not able to complete a 3-point play, but the Lakers lead 112-101. Here's Stoudemire. It counts, and the foul. So Stoudemire with a hard drive to the rim, and he has an opportunity for a three-point play. Gasol picks up his first. Amari only 1 of 4 at the line.
You know, Amari was talking also, too, not only about Odom, but he was talking the other day about how he used to dominate Gasol when Gasol played for Memphis. He said until he got his little brother here, I used to sort of wear him out kind of thing, referring to Andrew Bynum. So Amari went after both Gasol and Lamar Odom after game 1.
I don't know how a player can think he can get away with that kind of stuff. It just supplies motivation as Richardson rims out, rebounded by Odom. I know he kind of threw out the lucky statement, but still, you know you're putting out that word concerning Lamar Odom. 3.5 left in this fourth quarter. Here's Gasol, rebounded by Odom.
Yeah, just size, Marv. You go small, and you just the defensive rebounding, the offensive rebounding by the Los Angeles Lakers. Odom, once again, that's 9 rebounds for him tonight.
The foul on Dudley, that is number 6. Jared Dudley had an excellent game. He hit 5 for 5 from three-point range. Finished with 15 points in all, along with 5 rebounds and 4 assists. Here's a look at the upcoming national TV schedule. ESPN Saturday, the Eastern Conference Finals, Game 3, Orlando at Boston. The Magic trying to get back into that series. Celtics did have their troubles at home during the regular season, but the Celtics going into Orlando and winning the first 2, and we'll be with you right here on TNT on Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, for Game 3 between the Lakers and the Suns.
I tell you, I've been so impressed with the Boston Celtics' mental and physical toughness. What they have done in that Cleveland series and then now in this Orlando series, they have stepped it up a notch, and they are playing at that level when they won a championship. They're getting a lot of bench help. Got a lot of guys playing very well right now for the Celtics.
Another stellar game off the bench for Lamar Odom.
The Suns now have gone super small with about 3 minutes and 28 seconds to go here. They know they've got to pick up the pace of the game, being down 10. So they have Dragic in along with Steve Nash.
Stoudemire set up by Nash. Gasol on the foul. Should say Richardson draws the foul, and he will go to the line. The numbers on Nash: 11 points, just 7 shots, but does have 15 assists.
A big part of that 7 shots. I mean, I know that Alvin Gentry wants him to get about 20. I don't know that he can against this team because all those pick and rolls, Lamar Odom and Gasol are so good at showing out and taking him off that quick shot and then getting back and allowing Fisher, whoever's guarding him, to recover. So he's not getting those clean looks coming off that screen that he normally gets simply because of the mobility of the Laker big men.
And usually when he looks for angles, and he plays those angles so well with that probing technique, we've seen him do it a couple of times here tonight. Gasol off the fake. That's too easy.
When you front, you better have pressure on the passer. When that ball is in the air, that weak side guy better be rotating.
25 for Pau Gasol. 10 have come here in the fourth quarter. Just under 3 left. Nash with a three-point attempt. Odom reaching for the rebound.
See, Steve really wasn't on balance in that shot. Really trying to shoot his team back into the game with that 3.
13 and 10 for Odom, along with 3 steals. Shot clock to 6. Gasol, that's a very tough angle.
How about Kobe, though? He said, just go to work inside. So Kobe now taking a back seat, letting Gasol go to work in the paint. That's 48 points in the paint now.
Dragic not able to hit the 3. And the Lakers in no hurry.
Guess what? They're going to go right back into Gasol in the post, go to work. Let this clock burn down a little bit.
Down to 6 on the clock. Odom going right at Stoudemire.
Well, size does matter. I will tell you that. And the Lakers have just worn him down in this period. After the Suns went small, fought themselves back into the game in that third quarter, tied it at 90 all. And it's been all Kobe Bryant, and it's all Pau Gasol and his teammates. Lamar Odom helping out off the bench, slipping the pick, the eye contact, the strong finish. He has 27, Kobe 21, and the Lakers are rolling.
Well, they're heading to the exits here at Staples. This crowd feeling confident that this one will be in the books. We have Ernie Charles, Kenny, and Reggie coming up on Inside the NBA. Let's revisit the cold hard facts presented by Coors Light as we take a look at the keys that you set up the game with.
Well, I said cut it in half, a point paint differential, 20-10 they did, but I said they had to win that by double digits, a three-point line, only +3. Win the bench. Once again, it was LA. Defense must rise, 120 points, 57% field goals. How about 31 assists and only 12 turnovers for the Lakers? They have 7 assists, no turnovers here in the fourth quarter.
Richardson tried a 3. Odom with the rebound. Phoenix able to tie up the game on 3 occasions in the third quarter. Could not get the lead. They were 90 apiece starting the fourth. And in this fourth quarter, Lakers have outscored the Suns 30-16. A travel is called on Gasol, who is trying to show Mike Callahan that the footwork was okay. Should not have been a turnover, but it is.
That's their first turnover in this quarter. Phil Jackson, remember what he said to Craig Sager, was not happy with the way they turned that ball over in the third period. Well, that was rectified here in the finish.
Stoudemire is fouled. Lakers have shot 10 of 17 from the field in this fourth quarter.
They've just picked them apart. You know, Marv, when you have so many different options you can go to, and you can go inside, outside with your offense, and Marv, that's exactly what you were talking about. You know, 5 of 14, the 5 turnovers were deadly in that one stretch where they didn't even get shots at the basket.
So now the question is, can the Suns get back into this series when it returns to Phoenix for games 3 and 4 Sunday night and then next Tuesday night?
Well, they're going to play much better at home. We know that the Suns are great at home. They have a wonderful crowd. But they're going to have to do something with their defense because right now the Lakers are having their way, Mark. You can't give up 57, 58% shooting, 31 assists, 27 assists in back-to-back games. You got to find a way to get some stops.
Phoenix 32-9 at home during the regular season. Hill picks up his 4th. Gasol to the line, and the Lakers during the regular season had their problems on the road, just 23 and 18. This team that played 17 of their first 21 at home and had a long road stretch in the second half of the season. But I don't know, do you throw that all out in the playoffs?
It's a totally different team, and they're focused. They know that they're on a mission here to try to get back to the NBA Finals and to win back-to-back. And even Kobe Bryant said the other night after game 1, he said, we want to show them we're a different team now than we were during the regular season.
Lakers 57-25 during the regular season. Best record in the West. #1 seed. Hill for 3. Kept alive by Dragic. As we come up on a minute remaining in the game. Nash's pass picked off. Another turnover by the Suns.
Again, that Mark, we talked about it. The size of the Lakers bothers Steve Nash. They get their hands, they deflect those pocket passes, and they've taken those away here in this fourth quarter.
Lakers on their way to an 8th straight playoff win. Odom. Lamar Odom, who's heard the criticism for being up and down, but has had 2 outstanding games in this series. The 19 points, 19 rebounds, followed up by 17 and 11 here tonight.
I think Lamar Odom is much more valuable to the Lakers in this series than Bynum because of all the screen rolls that you face. Your big guys have to be able to get out there and show, and Odom and Gasol are great at that.
Lakers have outscored the Suns 34-20 in the fourth.
Well, that's 5 30-point quarters out of 8 that they've played. That tells you how their offense has been in sync.
Richardson. Final seconds. The Los Angeles Lakers have taken a 2-0 lead in this Western Conference best of 7. As the scene shifts to the Valley of the Sun on Sunday night and right here on TNT, the defending champs 2 games away from making it to the finals for the 3rd straight season. As I mentioned, Lakers have won 8 straight playoff games. They've won their last 10 home postseason games. Phoenix had won 6 straight playoff games going into Monday night. Jason Richardson, the high man for the Suns. Grant Hill coming up big in the second half with 23. Pau Gasol with 29. Kobe Bryant 21. You see double score figures for Ron Artest. Double digits, I should say, for Artest, Odom, and Bynum. But for Kobe Bryant, an outstanding all-around performance. 21 points, 13 assists, 5 rebounds, and he is with Craig.
Well, Kobe, your streak of 30-point games in the playoffs ends at 6. We had a career high in assists in the playoffs. I don't think I've ever had to see you have more fun than you did tonight, especially working with Pau Gasol.
No, it was great. You know, he really took advantage of the defense tonight, and you know, he played huge for us.
So many times you're out there directing traffic, you said, no, I want to go with Pau, I want to go with Pau. What's it been like now as you've been able to work with him this year after, of course, 2 years?
Well, it's been great. You know, as soon as he came here, I mean, he fit in, you know, instantly. And, you know, since that point, it's just been about, you know, making it even better and trying to perfect what we do together.
Alvin Gentry told us before the game he wanted Steve Nash to take between 15 and 20 shots. I think he only had 7. Defensively, how do you keep him out of the lane and keep him from scoring?
Well, you know, Derek and Jordan are both doing a great job, you know, staying on his body, staying in front of him. And, you know, when he gets those screens, our big's doing a good job helping out. And, yeah, that's the reason.
You also took Phoenix out of their defensive game plan. They were trying to double on you, leaving Artest open. How much pride did you take in the fact that Artest, who's been working so much after practice, is knocking down those shots?
Well, I mean, you know, he started out the playoffs shooting poorly. You know, but during the regular season, he was a consistent 3-point shooter for us. And it was just about him getting back on track. And, you know, he made him pay tonight.
Well, thanks a lot. Great all-around game.
Thank you.
Back to you, Mayor.
All right, thank you, Craig. So the Lakers put up 124 points tonight after scoring 128 in Game 1 on Monday night. Thanks to our producers, Scott Cockerell, our director, Lonnie Dale, associate directors, Bert Bundy and Tom Heitz, production assistants, Jeff Paris and Sam Polis, and our statistician, Brian Taylor. Lakers have a 2-0 lead in this best of 7 Western Conference final. Again, the final score tonight, Lakers 124 and the Suns 112. So for Doug Collins, Craig Sager, and the rest of our crew, Marv Albert saying goodnight from LA. You've been watching the Western Conference Finals exclusively on TNT. And coming in 2011, it's March Madness, the NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament on TNT, TBS, and True TV. We will see you in Phoenix on Sunday night after a quick break. It's Inside the NBA with EJ, Kenny, Charles, and Reggie from right here at Staples.